So, Bismillah ar-Rahman So, so we talk about human life first. I mean, the rest of the life forms, the Quran does not speak about how the rest of the life forms were created. But as far as human life is concerned, the Quran tells us in Surah Sajda, there were three stages in which human life was created. In the first phase, human beings, or I would say humanoids, close to what human beings are, they sprung directly from the earth. And they came out of the earth in the form of an adult, just as you find, or young adult, just as you find a chick coming out of its eggshell. So it's like a full human, full living being which grows. So human beings initially they sprouted directly from earth, and the Quranic words are "Bada khalaq al insani min teen, summa ja'ala naslahu min sulalatin min ma'in mahin," which mean that this went on for a lot of time, a lot of years, and then in the second phase, human beings were given the ability to procreate, to reproduce. So initially, they didn't have this ability. Initially, they were directly born from mud, from the earth. And in the second phase, they had this ability to reproduce. And and then it says, وَبَدَا خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانِ مِنْ تِينٍ ثُمَّ جَعَلَ نَسْلَهُ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ مَاءٍ مَهِينٍ ثُمَّ صَوَّاهُ. And then the third phase is that amongst these human beings who had this ability to procreate or to have their children themselves, they were perfected. And this was the perfection that the Quran talks about was that they were given the soul and they were given this ability to distinguish between good and evil. ثُمَّ سَوَّاهُ فَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِهِ وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ, which means now their faculties were given to them. So in these three stages, human beings were born. And in this third stage, one pair was selected for the rest of mankind to be the father and mother of the rest of mankind, and that is who we know as Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve might have had their own ancestors, and the fossil record that we have is exactly of the same thing. So the difference between the Quranic theory of evolution and the Darwinian theory is that whereas Darwin believes of a common ancestor in which you descended from apes, the Quran tells us that human beings were born initially as humans, but they developed in the same form. Initially, they sprung up from the earth, then they were given the ability to procreate, and finally they were given these senses and faculties, and they became human beings in the ultimate form. And then from that category, one pair was selected of Adam and Eve. So this is the evolution which the Quran suggests, but it doesn't suggest any interspecies evolution. It is evolution within the species. Because you see, we have that fossil record, and that fossil record we cannot deny it. So either we accept what he says, or we come up with a counter explanation. So this is the counter explanation which the Quran has given. And you might be knowing that Darwin was a devout Christian. He actually, when he proposed this theory of evolution, he held it for 22 years. He didn't want to express it because he was a devout Christian. And in Christianity, this belief was considered as a sin, as an anathema, that man descended from apes. And he also knew that he would be taken to task by the church. So he withheld it for so many years. And then it is said that after many, many years of contemplation, and that too has a small background to it, ultimately this theory was presented.